my name is Ivan Manov. I'm an account executive for GDMFX, and I'll be presenting you the European market outlook. North American markets, Dow was down with 18 points down yesterday, and Nasdaq 32 points down. Dixie was up to 95.54 from 95.48. Fed's Yellen had a speech yesterday. She said Fed buying corporate bonds and stocks is a good thing to think about and could help in a downturn. She did also mention that this is not something which they need now. Yesterday's calendar events: GDP annualized second quarter 0.1% better than expected at 1.4%. Initial jobless claims 6,000 better than expected. GDP price index as expected at 2.3%. Goods trade balance $4.6 billion better than expected. PCE prices quarter-on-quarter as expected at 2%. Core PCE quarter-on-quarter as expected 1.8%. Pending home sales month-on-month 2.4% worse than expected. Year-on-year 1.6% less than previous. Today will be released the PCE price index, core PCE price index, personal spending, Chicago Purchasing Managers Index, Canadian GDP month-on-month. European markets. DAX 30 yesterday closed with 260 points down. CAC 40 808 down yesterday. Also, German unemployment rate seasonally adjusted for September kept steady at 6.1% as forecasted. Unemployment change fell with 6,000 versus expectations of minus 5,000, 7,000 worse than previous. At 1,000 currently, preliminary reports indicate improvement in German CPI for September with 0.1% beating forecast in previous report. Harmonized index of consumer prices year-on-year for September month-on-month both improved as forecasted at 0.5% and 0%. German CPI year-on-year 0.1% better than expected. UK markets. Consumer credit 174 million British pounds better than expected. Mortgage approvals 92,000 worse than expected. GfK consumer confidence 4 points better than expected at minus 1 points currently. FTSE 100 lost 43 points yesterday and closed at 68.29. Despite good consumer credit and consumer confidence, data sterling slipped yesterday and is heading for a fifth consecutive quarter of declines, the longest running streak since the 80s. A major worry is that once the Article 50 is triggered, sterling can go into a losing spiral and decline severely. Later today will be released the GDP year-on-year quarterly report. Asian Pacific markets. Nikkei 225 closed at 130 points yesterday, lower. Consumer prices excluding fresh food. The Bank of Japan's preliminary gauge of inflation dropped 0.5% in August from a year earlier. Industrial output rose 1.5% in August from July. Household spending fell 4.6% from a year earlier. The unemployment rate stood at 3.1%. Forecast was 3%. Bank of Japan's governor addressed Parliament today, noting that it's too early to discuss exit from easy policy, and speaking specifically about those means to promptly could cause confusion in the markets. Kuroda said that the pace of Japanese government bond buying may fluctuate from the target of 80 trillion Japanese yen. The yield on the 10-year bond edged up today after the bank said it trimmed its purchase of JGBs from 5 to 10 years of maturity. Commodities. Natural gas storage rose by 49 billion British thermal units in the week ended September 23, below expectations for an increase of 55 billion. S&P 500 index had a range of 30 points down to 2,141 now. Gold price extended modest overnight losses during North American sessions on Thursday, falling to a fresh one-week low as investors digest better than expected U.S. economic data. Oil prices retreated during North American hours on Thursday after surging by as much as 6% a day earlier as the initial euphoria over preliminary agreement on oil output faded amid doubts over the OPEC would implement such a plan. Oil prices dropped on Friday as investors took profits following a 7% rise in the last two sessions amid doubts that OPEC's first planned output cut in 8 years could make a substantial dent in the global crude glut. Gold had a range of $10 at $1,323 per troy ounce currently. Silver had a range of 46 cents. Oil 1.40 range at 47.47. Natural gas is trading at $2.92 at the moment. Next week's major market moving events. On Monday we have Japanese Tenkan manufacturing Australia IG performance of MFG index and TD securities inflation, Switzerland's real retail sales, the market manufacturing PMI for Europe, UK and the United States, US's ISM manufacturing PMI and prices paid. On Thursday, Australia's interest rate decision and rate statement. Wednesday's Australia retail sales seasonally adjusted, Europe's market services PMI for September. Thursday, Australia imports, exports and trade balance report, the ECB's monetary policy meeting accounts, followed by the initial jobless claims from the United States. Thank you.